This your boy King Eric the Great coming at y'all with another video. First thing first, we want to give a big shout out to Illa the Sandman and T-Mats with the facts. We had episode 212 talking about the Tekashi 6ix9ine case, along with the Dipset reunion, breakup, Joel Santana, Jim Jones's legal issues. We also talked about the Joyner Lucas versus Tory Lanez battle. We covered a lot of grounds here. So, this video here, I want to cover what is the legacy of Snoop Dogg, aka Snoop Doggy Dogg. Where would you rank him on your top MC list? Because I was listening to Doggy Style the other day, one of the greatest, superbly, sonically, masterly produced albums I've ever heard. That album, it still sounds crisp today. So, I was listening to some of Snoop's catalog, and he has some great records. He knows how to make hit records. And people want to dismiss him and say, oh, the only hot album he had was Doggy Style. I totally disagree. Because you have Doggy Style, you have Pay the Cost to Be the Boss, you had The Last Meal, No Limit Top Dog, Rhythm and Gangsta. What else did he have? The East Siders albums, if you could count those. And one of my favorites that he came out with Blue Carpet Treatment. Snoop can go on that mic when you really motivated. But the question is will he be a qualified contender on the elite list in hip hop? Because some people would say that his flow, he has the same flow, that his rhyme patterns are it's kind of like repetition, and his subject matter is not really as diverse. But I could say that he was a trendsetter. Like, look at how many people started dressing like Snoop. They started acting like Snoop. They started rapping like Snoop. It got to the point where even on Doggy Dogg World, he even had to call his biters out. You had Chris Cross dressing and rapping like Snoop. You had the Brat coming out there, literally a Snoop clone. Jermaine Dupri was basically Dr. Dre, and the Brat was Snoop Dogg. I mean, the whole LBC laid back flow was probably Snoop didn't create that. And a lot of people will give him credit for creating that lane that Domino and Warren G started following. But in the LBC, everybody rapped like that to the point. Everybody had that smooth, laid back flow. But in my opinion, I think Snoop deserves his spot. His legacy is cemented in hip hop. But some things you have to take away. He has also had his share of duds, like the Dogfather album, the Games to Be Sold Not Told album, which was, he had the firepower coming back, the lyrical firepower, but it didn't match those beats at the time. And those later albums he came with after Ego Tripping, they weren't really hitting. But he had the album called, I think it was called 7 Days of Funk, with Daft Funk, which was pretty dope. But if you really look at Snoop's career and everything, it was sort of like he had more great albums than he did whack albums. But he also had his moments where lyrically he was kind of like left a lot to be desired. He just knew how to pick the right records to match his flow. And he had that charisma to sell it. He had that charisma that is unmatched. Nobody really sounded like him. So where I would rank Snoop, I'd probably rank him in the top 20. Just based off impact, just based off style, just based off hit records. He wasn't the best when it come to bars, but he had some great storytelling as well. He knew how to paint stories, tell stories of gang life, and he learned that from Slick Rick, which is why he remade the Lottie Dottie joint. Then he remade the Paid in Full joint with Papered Up. So he had a lot of great albums. and a lot of great moments where he just flashed at his best lyrically. So the question is, what ranking would you put Snoop Doggy Dogg on the contenders list for greatest MCs? He definitely deserves a mention. I haven't really heard anybody mention him in the top 10 or the top 5. But he's up there for discussion, just based off impact and hit records. And the fact that it's close to 25 years later and we're still talking about Doggy Style. And the fact of the matter is that he's still relevant today. He knew how to transition himself. You know, at a time where many rappers just got lost in the sauce or just got lost within the times. Snoop knew how to reinvent himself. And he had gangster records. He had political records. He tried to diverse his range. I give him that. But at the end of the day, I think he deserves his legacy being submitted in the culture. So what do you guys think? Hit me up.